Salut, good morning, and welcome to today's weekly lesson. Well, in our last lesson, we learned about different pet animals in French. We had an opportunity in that lesson to see how to call a quite number of them. For example, cats, which we called le chat, a dog, which we called le chien, and a quite whole lot of them. In today's lesson, we are going to switch a little bit to sound building in French. We all know sound building is very vital in order to improve our reading, most especially. So today's sound is going to be the f sound. Please repeat after me. F. F. Exactly. Just like in English, we use this sound quite a lot. And in English, we have two main letters, or let's say two main combination of letters, which make these f sounds. Obviously, the first of them is the letter F itself, which makes that f sound, and the second is a combination of letter P and letter H, which are joined together to form the f sound. For example, phone, photograph, we all see they use a PH at the beginning. So, it's quite very much similar with French, because while we'll be looking at these sounds here in French, we clearly understand that they equally talk about one and the same things. So, are you ready? Let's go. In French, we have two sounds or two combination of letters as well, which make that f sound. And the combination, of course, are la lettre F, letter F, and la lettre P et H, letter P and H, just like we saw, or just like I mentioned earlier with the English. So it's exactly the same thing in French. Nous avons deux lettres, la lettre F et les lettres P et H, qui forment tous le même son F quand nous les prononçons dans différents mots. We have, of course, these two sounds which all make the F sound when pronounced in all the words we're going to look at here, and of course, not only in these words. After you must have learned the sound, the most important is for you to be able to understand and make it as a practice that each time you're reading a French word or a text and you come across any word which has either F or PH, you should make sure you pronounce those two sounds as f, f, f. That's the main importance and objective of today's lesson, not only to just think about it. Okay? Alright, so let's start, of course, with this. And what I was talking here, it says, en utilisant la lettre F. What does it mean? It simply means while using the letter F. It means we're going to look at words here which make the f sound, and of course still use the letter F. It means all words we're going to look at here will be using the letter F, and of course are pronounced f. So let's have a look at the first word. Please repeat after me. Frites. 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 Excellent. That was very good. And of course, frites, as you can clearly see, has the F highlighted, showing us that this is the sound we're looking at. And clearly when we pronounce it, you can clearly hear the sound f in frit. And frit, obviously, in English, we call them fries. So again, how do you call fries in French? Frites. Very good. And to be noted, frit has got just one syllable. Obviously, when we pronounce the word frit, we can hear just one sound, and that one sound makes the one syllabus. Alright, that was for the first word. Let's move on to the second word. And clearly, this is what we have here. Please repeat it after me. Fou mi. Fou mi. Again. Fou mi. Fou mi. Very good. So for me, from what you've seen, of course, the picture is right below. It clearly shows you that this is exactly how to call an ant in French. And if I ask you again, how then do you call an ant in French? You just have to repeat this word. Fou mi. And once again, we still see the letter F here being highlighted, making us understanding that we are still talking about the F sound. And we can clearly see it here, still in the word for me. I mean, when you say for me, the F sound is clearly heard at the very start. Alright. So, how many syllables has the word for me got? Very good. Of course, it's got 2 syllables. We have one, fou, and the second, me. Clearly, for me is an ant. You're doing so great. Keep up with the amazing work. Let's proceed with the last word under this letters F, making the F sound, of course. And the last word we're going to look at here is fraise. Please repeat after me. Fraise. Fraise. Very good. So what is fraise? Clearly you can see on the picture, it's strawberry, right? Yeah. So each time I ask you, how then do you call a strawberry in French? I expect you to say fraise, this word. Once again, the F is highlighted, making us to understand clearly that is the sound we're looking at. And how many syllables has the word fraise got? Beautiful. Fraise obviously has just 1 syllable. When we pronounce phrase, we get just 1 sound in the word, and that makes it just 1 syllable. Well done again. So overall, these are the 3 words which we have here using the letter F, and of course still pronounce F. Let's do a recap of them. The first, frites, fourmi, and fraise. Great. So that was it with words using letter F and of course pronounce F. Now, let's go ahead and look at letters which use PH and of course are still pronounced F. Remember, PH is always combined as one to give this sound, not like reading them separately. P has its own pronunciation and of course H, in most cases, is always silent in French. But when you join the two, this P and the H, you get the F sound, just like letter F with the shell above there. So that's it. Let's equally have a look at these 3 words which use the PH and produce the F sound. So please again, repeat after me. Folk. 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 Next. Éléphant. 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 Very good. And the last. Phare. 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 Great. So when you're pronouncing this last word far, it's like you're saying far in English, F-A-R, far away. That's exactly how this is pronounced. And clearly, when we pronounce each of these 3 words, you can see the PH which has been highlighted. For the first one, PH is at the very beginning of the word, and on éléphant, PH of course is in the middle of the word. And on the word far, PH again comes at the very beginning. All of them making one similar sound. The F in folk, the F in éléphant, the F in phare. To be noted, elephant, when pronounced, of course, will not have the T at the end being pronounced. We already mentioned that. With most French words, we don't pronounce the last letters. They are always kept silent, except in very few cases. Well, of course, for this elephant here, it is silent, especially since ANT is pronounced ang, not ant, ang. All right, now that we've seen these three words, of course, which still make use of the PH from the F sound, let's now have a proper look at how many syllables each of them has got. Let's have a look at the first. When we say, we can pronounce the word again. Yeah, that was good. The word, of course, is folk. Folk. When we say folk, how many syllables do we have there? Obviously, we have just one syllable. Just one. Good. And of course, that is one sound. Folk, not two. Très bien. And obviously, we can see from the animal below. In English, this is a seal. In French, we call it seal. Folk. Très bien. Très bien. Let's move on to the second. I guess all of us, of course, are most familiar with this animal below here, the biggest mammal on earth. And in English, the word is quite very similar. In fact, it's exactly the same. Just the accents which we have here, which makes it a little bit different. And of course, those accents make the word to be pronounced differently. So let's repeat again together so you can see for yourself how these accents make the two E's being pronounced differently. We have E, les, fang. Again, E, les, fang. Très bien. So clearly, we understand that whenever you're looking for the A sound in French, you have gotten it. The A sound is always this particular E here with this accent on top of it. Because the normal E will not be pronounced A in French, or the letter A itself, which is I in French, will not be pronounced A. This is the letter which has the A sound in French, the E accent aigu. Alright, I guess that is now understood. So who can tell us how many syllables has the word elephant got? Yeah, you are very brilliant. Of course, it's got 3 syllables. Just like in English, we have elephant, 3. In French, we still have 3. Let's count together. E, les, fang. Excellent. You're really doing a great job. And of course, yes, that is 3 syllables for elephant. And finally, we have the last word, which is far. Far. Remember, we said far, not far. Far. You end the pronunciation with the R. So far, from what you can see below clearly on the picture, it's a lighthouse. A lighthouse, obviously, is found mostly around seaports, used to give directions to ships sailing around. So, how many syllables has the word far got? You got it right. Far has just 1 syllable. Of course, when we say far, we hear just 1 sound. Just like we saw for folk, 1 sound. So clearly means far, just like folk, has just 1 syllable. You are really so brilliant, and that is wonderful. Please clap for yourself. Doing a great job. Alright. Now, let's have a look at more words using the F and the PH just like we saw above. Now we're going to pay serious note, of course, on their first syllables. The first word, of course, is fenêtre. Let's take it a little bit slowly. Fenêtre. Fenêtre. Good. And the first syllables we're looking at here is feu. Fe makes it one syllable and net makes it the second. So if we're asked how many syllables has the word fenêtre got, obviously 2. And from what you can see, fenêtre is obviously a window. Très bien. Allons-y avec le prochain mot. Let's move on to the second word. The next sound we're looking at here, of course, is a fang sound, which can be seen in the word fantôme. 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 Very good. So how many syllables has fantôme got? That's right. Fantôme, of course, has got 2 syllables. Fang and dom. And obviously, from the picture, you can deduce it's a ghost. So if we ask you, how do you call a ghost in French? You have just one word for that. Fantôme is a word. All right. Let's move on then to the next word. And of course, the sound we're looking at here is the fou. 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 Made, of course, with the FU. In fou, we can have a word like fusée. 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 Let's try it again and detach them, of course, from their syllables. We have fusée. Fusée. Très bien. Fusée, obviously, is a rocket. And how do you call a rocket in French? Fusée. Très bien. So how many syllables has the word fusée got? 2. You're so brilliant. Fu, which is 1, and zé, which is the second. Excellent. Let's move on to the next. The next sound we're looking at here, of course, is the faux sound. Faux, faux, faux. Faux is a sound. In faux, we have a word like photo. 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 And photo, of course, in English is a photo. We clearly know that. It's written exactly the same. How many syllables has the word photo got? Right, 2. 4 and 2. We are now on the next word. And of course, the word here is the feng sound. Feng, feng, feng. P-H-I-N, pronounced feng. We have feng in a word such as do, feng. Do, feng. Again, do, feng. Great. In the word dauphin, we can clearly see the feng sound again at the second syllables, which is of course right here. And we can clearly see it's a combination of the P and H, just like we mentioned. So, this is a dolphin in English, and now we ask you, how do you call a dolphin again in French? Dauphin. Very good. And now we're on the last word. And the last sound, of course, is a fa sound, a combination of the PH and A, which gives us fa, fa, fa. In fa, we can have a word like J, ro, fa. Good. Let's try it again. J, ro, fa. One last time. J, ro, fa. Perfect. You are really amazing. So gyrophare, obviously you can see, is a siren, and obviously it's used in police vehicles, ambulance, and of course more. So if we ask you, how do you call a siren in French, what do you say? Yeah, remember when you are reading the word, do not bother taking it very long, else you might make a mistake with the pronunciation. So let's take it slowly again. J, ro, fa. Très bien. Again. J, ro, fa. Excellent. So we ask you, How many syllables has the word gyrophare got? Yeah, that's right. Gyrophare has got 3 syllables. Let's count together. G, 1, ro, 2, and fa, 3, which makes it gyrophare for 3 syllables. Bravo à toi, bien joué. Tu es un très bon élève. Well done. You're a very wonderful student. And of course, we hope you've learned quite how to pronounce the f sound as seen in letter F and letter PH. So we're going to do, of course, a final review of the words, of all the words we've seen today before we close. Let's start, of course, with the very first. Can you read for us the first? Frites. Fourmi. Fraise. Phoque. Éléphant. Phare. Fenêtre. Fantôme. Fusée. Photo. Dauphin. And gyrophare. Bravo à toi. Well done to all of you. You are really wonderful students. Remember to always review and of course use the link on the description below to try out the exercises after the lesson. Obviously the exercises are quite easy and you notice it's all about what we just saw right here, the f sound. The link to the full lesson, of course, is still available there. So if you open to the description, you clearly have the link to the lesson and of course the exercise which you can use to train yourself and test your understanding of this lesson. Alors, nous avons terminé pour aujourd'hui. Je vous souhaite une excellente journée et on se dit rendez-vous à la semaine prochaine. I appreciate, of course, your time for today's lesson. And of course, we wish you a wonderful week ahead. And of course, see you next week for more lessons. Au revoir et à bientôt. Bye bye.